Happy Tuesday, friends. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. We have a lot to talk about in today's video, including a powerful storm system moving across the middle of the country, bringing severe weather and heavy rainfall chances that could lead to some flash flooding. And we also have a Hurricane Lydia, that will be impacting western Mexico over the next couple of days. We'll be giving you those details later on in today's video. If you are new to the channel and have not yet subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It's absolutely free to do, and you get detailed, deep weather breakdowns on North America and the tropics with this channel. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and give it a thumbs up, which is the like button. It helps to get all this information out to as many people as possible. Looking here across the north central states, we are dealing with frost advisories and freeze warnings. The freeze warnings are in the darker purple here up across northern and central Minnesota and portions of eastern North Dakota as well, and even far northwestern Wisconsin, seeing those freeze warnings, where we have those frost advisories in the lighter blue that extends down into the Hawkeye State there of Iowa, down into the land of Lincoln, and then across portions here of the Ohio Valley, and even some frost advisories being held up there into portions of Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire, those areas here this morning. Taking a look at temperatures this morning, where we do have the freeze warnings and frost advisories, temperatures are down into the 30s, if not the low 40s this morning. A chilly go of it. So if you were heading out to work or school this morning across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, or New England, make sure to bundle up with a jacket out there and pants, because it is very chilly to waking up here this morning. We are going to be recovering a little bit this afternoon. Temperatures in those areas that wake up in the 30s will recover into the mid and upper 50s this afternoon across the upper Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and New England. Areas south of there, we are starting to see more of a return flow from the south and southwest. That will get temperatures back into the 70s and 80s, especially as you get down into, say, southern Kansas, Oklahoma, North Texas, and then down across portions of the lower Mississippi Valley this afternoon. But all eyes are on a powerful storm system moving into the Pacific Northwest midweek. This is on Wednesday. This takes us into tomorrow, Wednesday, October 11th, and you start to see some energy building here across the Pacific Northwest. Now, it doesn't look impressive on Wednesday because it's just in the early stages of developing, but as we move down the road to Friday, this is on Friday the 13th here of October, we're going to see a maturing mid-latitude cyclone start to develop across the Midwest, and this could really pack a punch across these regions as we get toward later this week. So starting on Wednesday, we're starting to see that mid-latitude cyclone start to develop across the lee side of the Rockies. This is just to the east of the Denver region as we go into Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. We do have a little bit of a warm front trying to develop across the mid-Missouri Valley over to the Illinois Valley here. This could be sparking some showers and thunderstorms. I'm not too terribly concerned about a severe weather threat with these, but some heavier downpours and some lightning will be possible, and then some heavier rainfall down across the southeast, across southeastern Alabama, Georgia, and portions of Florida with a separate system as we go into Wednesday. Then it starts to take a little bit more of a concerning turn as we go into Thursday. Now, whenever you start to see the mid-level jet, this is your 500 millibar mid-level jet stream, whenever you start to see it take more on a negative tilt here, more like we see in the springtime, that's when we start to see concerns here, because we have a lot of wind shear in place. We got some instability building and moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that will aid in the severe weather threat for the Central Plains as we go into Thursday, and then that will march east and only mature as we go into Friday, as it really starts to take on more of a negative tilt. And then by Saturday, I think the severe weather threat by then starts to lessen, but we'll still have some heavier rain across the East Coast and toward the Mid-Atlantic here with this system. So taking a look first at Thursday, we do have an area of concern for severe weather, like I mentioned, right near the track of that low and just to the south of the warm front. That's where the concern is for a line of thunderstorms to develop and rapidly intensify as we go Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening into the overnight hours Thursday night. Something to keep an eye on if you live into eastern Nebraska, west central Iowa, northwest Missouri, all the way down into east central Kansas. Just an area of concern on Thursday. Giving you more of a detailed look at what I expect for my severe weather weather forecast for Thursday. The key is on the left hand side of your screen. If you are outlined in the yellow shaded color, it is possible that you could see all modes of severe weather, including winds over 60 miles per hour, quarter size hail or larger, and a couple of tornadoes. But it's much more likely that it's in portions of the orange shaded color. This includes the Omaha region, getting down toward portions of Kansas City, maybe down into the Topeka region into Kansas as we go in toward Thursday, especially Thursday afternoon into Thursday night. Then all of that marches further to the east. We still have a maturing cyclone. This is a maturing mid-latitude cyclone across the Midwest on Friday. We have a trailing cold front. We have the warm front up here, and then we have the backwash moisture on the backside here. But right where we see that cold front interact with some of that warm, moist, and unstable air for that time, this time of year, from the Illinois Valley eastward to the Ohio Valley, that's when we have some concern for some severe storms. So as such, a little bit larger of an area of concern. As you have a maturing cyclone, we start to see much more of a broader area of severe weather try to develop here, really centered across the Illinois Valley. So if you live in southern Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, much of north central and even south central Illinois into western Indiana, I want you to be on alert for the potential for 60 plus mile per hour winds, quarter size hail or larger, and yes, possibly a brief isolated tornado or two, especially in this orange shaded color as well. So, but when you look at this map, folks, I do want you to kind of get the note across to you that not everybody in this yellow or orange shaded color will see severe weather, but there will be areas within this region, especially in the orange, that do see severe weather likely as we go into Friday. So just know that as we move forward. And then, like I mentioned, as Saturday, more of a heavy rain setup here from the Boston region, really down toward Long Island, New York City, New Jersey, all the way down through the Delmarva and into portions of Virginia there. North Carolina, we're going to start to see more heavier rains as we go into Saturday. Behind that, though, high pressure works back in and we start to cool down again with more northwesterly flow in the wake of that storm. Looking at rainfall totals as we go in through this weekend, heavy rainfall across the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes, areas that need the rainfall. So this is beneficial rains for the north central states here. And zooming it in, this is some decent rain, folks. I mean, down here into the Des Moines region, we're getting around 3 inches of rain. Up toward La Crosse, Wisconsin, and toward the Twin Cities, 1 to 2 inches for you. Milwaukee up to Green Bay, around 2.5 inches in some of those areas. Chicago, around 2.5 to 3 inches, and even Indianapolis checking in around half an inch to an inch of rain there. So definitely seeing some decent rains across this region, an area that desperately needs the rain with the ongoing severe, extreme, and exceptional drought taking over. And looking at this, though, whether or not we have a drought, we still have to be concerned about a flash flood risk. So as this moves through on Wednesday to Thursday, this will start off as more of the rain showers and thunderstorms along that warm front from eastern Nebraska into south central Iowa, northern Missouri, and west central Illinois there, possibly with a marginal risk of flash flooding. Heavier rains across the Gulf Coast from New Orleans over toward Mobile and then into the Tallahassee region. Could be seeing some heavier rains with a slight risk of flash flooding down there Wednesday into Thursday. And then the main story will be the severe weather and then the flash flood risk across the Great Lakes region as we go into that Thursday into Friday time frame. So that will be something to watch down the road. In the wake of the system, we're going to see another shot of cold air coming out of the north and west from Canada into the eastern 2/3 of the country. So as we get toward late next weekend here that's coming up and into the following week, this is what we're seeing for some cooler weather, well below normal temperatures expected, whereas the Pacific Northwest and really much of the western half of the country, we're going to start to see more of the warmer than normal temperatures take over there. And behind this system, we're going to be drying out as well, so no real active weather to talk about. Maybe some active weather down here into the west coast across Washington State, Oregon, California, and to some extent western Montana, Idaho, and northwestern Nevada Nevada. But other than that, we're really not seeing too much active weather across the middle of the country. Just previewing some of those temperatures behind the system, we're going to see another cold shot of air. You can see highs on Sunday, the 15th of October, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, really across the north central states, much of southern and southeastern Canada, very chilly. A lot of our highs into Ontario, Quebec, and even Manitoba will be held down into the middle 40s for highs on Sunday. And then as we go into Sunday night, another cool shot of air. I think we could be seeing more frost advisories, freeze warnings across especially the northern plains, the upper Midwest is stretching over the northern Great Lakes region as we go into Sunday night with temperatures in the 30s and 40s there. And then we're only recovering to start next week on Monday, October 16th, into the upper 40s across the upper Great Lakes region into southeastern Canada, and only improving into the 50s to low 60s further to the south. And this could actually be pretty chilly down here. The Nashville region approaching 59 there on Monday. 58 degrees there in Knoxville and 60 in Atlanta. So that's going to be a welcome change from what has been a warmer end of summer here. So definitely seeing some fall-like temperatures moving further to the south as we go in towards next week. Looking here at the tropics, we have Hurricane Lidia that has its eyes set on western Mexico here. You can see a very robust system moving across the eastern Pacific right now over the open waters, and this is pressing east-northeastward toward western Mexico. We already have tropical storm warnings and a lot of hurricane warnings for the west central side of the coast there of Mexico. And you can see over the next couple of days, this is going to crash into western Mexico as a Category 1 hurricane most likely, and then start to develop in towards more of a tropical storm, and then weaken back into a depression here and a post-tropical cyclone as it moves across Mexico here the middle of this week. Looking at this here today, some heavier rain. This will be approaching western Mexico. Right now, looks like most of the day the system will be off into the open waters of the eastern Pacific, crashing ashore later on tonight into Wednesday morning, bringing very heavy rain, some rough surf with it, some rip currents, all that whole 9 yards there across western portions of Mexico as we go into Wednesday, and then lingering showers into Thursday, although it will start to dry out later this week across those regions, but not before bringing several inches of rain perhaps near the coast there of western Mexico. So if you live in those areas, watch out for flood-prone areas with some flash flooding down there and some hilly terrain. Could be seeing some heavier downpours that could lead to flooding across those regions as we go through that Friday time frame. If you haven't seen my winter forecast for 2023 and 24, make sure to watch that video. It is in the description down below this video. Hit the link for that and watch that. Lots of great information on this upcoming winter on that video. Make sure to give it a like and leave any comments, questions, and concerns you have about this upcoming winter forecast on that video that you have as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video, sticking with me through the entirety of the video. I do appreciate it. Make sure to share this video with friends, family, and on social media, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, anything. I do appreciate that as well. And also, folks, thank you so much for just all the generosity. We're getting so much closer to 100,000 subscribers because of you, and I do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Give it a like. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video.